Overlooking the historic town of Caerphilly sits the small village of Groeswen. The area consists of a small number of houses, a historic church, and stunning views of the hills and monumental castle. It is also the home of the White Cross Inn, a small historic building that has functioned as a coach house and inn since the mid-1700s. It is a quaint little pub that holds events and groups often. Events such as charity fun days for the whole family that entail challenges such as team barrel rolling, tug of war, and children's rides. And challenges as well as a host of other games. It holds regular groups such as the Rambling Club, who organise walks around the stunning countryside that surround the village, and the Beer Bellies Club, who meet on the last Wednesday of the month to discuss the latest beers that the pub entertains. I'm yet to attend either of these particular clubs, but let's be honest, looking at my incredible physique, you can probably guess which one I'm going to choose. Especially since it's 5 half pints of ale for a £5. That's not bad if you ask me, especially in the current climate. The pub is also featured in a recent episode of Doctor Who that aired a month or so ago.
I thought... See, I was with my friend, and we walked into this thing.
It was this that made me wonder. Is there anything that made the producers pick this pub over others? So like an oversized child, I toddled my way up to the pub with my poor girlfriend mournfully ambling behind me to have a nose around. Now, I will say, I am generally quite shy when it comes to approaching people to talk about things of a supernatural nature, especially in a quiet pub. But after ordering a pint and sitting down to soak in the atmosphere, my girlfriend overheard a lady discussing something with a young man working behind the bar, which was a strange coincidence since it was a story that I featured on the channel a few episodes back. So after giving me a quick kick in the shin and a whispered conversation that they were talking about the Devil's Bridge, I leapt into action and seized the opportunity. Not really. I staggered up because I'm getting old and have a bad back and I'm partially deaf. But I was in luck. The lady in question had worked in the bar for many years and had a few stories to tell of the ghostly goings-on. On more than one occasion, a cloaked figure has been seen standing and looking at the fireplace. She had seen the figure as she pottered around doing various jobs and believed that it was her colleague in the bar tending to the fire or cleaning. It was only when he walked through a separate door on the opposite side of the bar that she realized it couldn't have been him, and they were the only 2 people in the pub at the time. It just so happens that that figure was standing right in front of where the existing stairs used to be to the apartment above. On another occasion, she had been standing in the doorway to the pub function room when she suddenly felt a small hand press against her hip as though a child had been trying to push past her. As she turned around, she had been surprised to see an empty passageway in front of her. On a couple of occasions, the staff have heard the sound of running water. When they went to investigate, they found the tap in the women's toilet had been turned on. This wouldn't normally be strange if it weren't for the fact that someone would have had to have either walked past them or opened the function room door to be able to access the toilet in the first place, but no one had entered or exited the bathroom when the sound of water started. They assured me that it couldn't have been loosened on its own accord, since it was a turn tap that had to be turned quite hard by hand. and despite my flowing locks and ample chest, I didn't feel it would be appropriate for me to enter the female bathroom to take photos, for obvious reasons. They also told me that a dark figure has been seen in the cellar, stood in the doorway next to the old cellar barrel drop opening. In the same spot, a member of staff reported that they had heard someone say hello to them. When they turned, there was no one else in the cellar. So who are these entities that continue to frequent this remote pub? One clue could be the graveyard that borders the pub car park. This burial site has existed ever since the church and pub were built in the mid-18th century. Could it be that the souls of the carters and drovers and pub regulars that passed through the village felt compelled to return to the welcoming environment they felt when they were alive? It's difficult to say. What I can say is that I nearly joined them, since when I went to investigate the graveyard, I nearly fell into the vault beneath one of the graves. Now, to be fair, there is a sign on the gate that says enter at your own risk, and my carer/girlfriend had decided to let me roam the lands freely since it was now beginning to rain and she wanted to sit in the car. What I will say is that it's a lovely pub, and I will leave a link to their Facebook page in the description. I'd highly recommend attending their fun days. One final thing that I forgot to ask the staff though, and possibly more unnerving than any ghost, ghoul or spirit, is the large number of adult appliances that are suspended from the ceiling above the bar. I can only assume that they are taken out in anger against those who partake too readily from the fruit of the vine, or those would-be YouTubers who make a hash out of telling their story. Either way, I hope they remain suspended and not used on me. Well, that's all from us here at Dark Entertainment. We hope that you've enjoyed the episode. And if so, please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for all notifications, but make sure that you hit that thumbs up, as that will really help the channel grow. If you wish to contact me, leave a comment down below. I try to answer all comments. Or you can follow us on X or on Facebook. But if you've got a story that you wish for me to tell, or a location that you think that I'd be interested in investigating, feel free to email me at dark_entertainment@outlook.com. And remember, stay dark, stay creepy, and always laugh. Ta-ta!